CNBC-TV18 Weekender.
Hello and welcome to CNBC-TV18's The Weekender. On this episode, we're joined by a very special guest, one of the top women corporate leaders in the country. She's a daughter, a sister, a mother. She turned entrepreneur with her husband. She's also the CII president-elect for next year and will be in Delhi for most of the year starting April. We're sitting with Shobana in the Garden Cafe at Apollo Health City here in Hyderabad. Thanks so much, Shobana, for joining us on today's episode.
Hi, Nithya. Because it's a weekend, you can call me Shobana for the weekend.
That sounds perfect.
Okay. 3 trades. I think that I'm a person of contradictions with this thing, and I like challenges. I'm hugely competitive. And I think that I like doing things that are good for the country, good for business, good for my family. So maybe I'm a do-gooder.
Fantastic. If I were to ask you, was there any other thing that crossed your mind growing up? Because you have a great lineage that you come from. Dr. Pratap Reddy practically redefined healthcare in the country. Was the expectation always to join him and the family business? And did those expectations weigh you down at any point in time? Or were you always sure this is where you belong?
Slight difference. I'm a second generation and actually helped Dad grow the business. I was in my final year of college when he started Apollo. So my first job was writing his communication and going on, you know, when he was looking to raise money. And then I actually, by the time I was 26, I finished building 3 of this hospital, first Chennai, Hyderabad and Delhi. Yeah, by the time I was 28, I had built 3 hospitals. So I guess I didn't have the luxury of thinking that that I could get another job.
And the same goes for your sisters as well?
Yeah, everyone was in it. I started working first, I think because of, my other 2, the elder one was married, Sunita was abroad and then getting married, so I was there. And then of course, like Sangeeta just came straight out of college into this. So we were just picked up as, started out as unpaid labor.
If I can ask you, if not for this, is there anything else that you would have fancied professionally?
I love designing buildings and buildings. Maybe I would have been an architect. Maybe at one point I thought of the foreign service, and then I realized too difficult, and I'm so not diplomatic.
Prepping
so
for that is
bad
quite
job. Bad job for me with this. So I think that I'm very, very lucky.
Absolutely, you love what you do, and that's what matters.
Totally.
Before I come to the family dynamics, we've often heard of the role that Dr. Pratap Reddy played, you know, in mentoring the 4 of you. But talk to me about your mother and what role she really played when it comes to, because keeping the entire family together and keeping the business intact is not something that you see too commonly in the corporate world these days.
There's a word for that. It's called lodestar. Mom is our lodestar. She's always there behind us, and for Dad also, and we always recognize it. She's also chief cheerleader.
Oh, fantastic.
I think the only reason that Dad would hold back shouting at us for something is because my mother listens to everything he says, except if he gets angry with us. So, and then she's like a mother tigress and goes, you know, she'd even go after him.
Protective,
and very early on in life, she said, I want all of you to be independent. So
that's something that's stuck with all of you.
Yeah.
If I were to ask you, do your parents have favorite amongst the siblings?
I work with the others. I'd like to say me.
I know. Always the safest answer is me. If I can ask you, like I mentioned in my previous question, when you talk about 4 young, independent women, the way you were raised, each of you with different styles of working, different ideas, different models when you talk about, growth path for, the company and the business, etc. How does it work, when you come together as a cohesive unit? Because it's not something that you see too often. When you talk about 4 siblings and handing over parts of businesses to each, working together seamlessly, is it as easy as it looks as far as Apollo is concerned?
Yeah, it's always hard and it's work in progress, but it stems out of a deep rooted respect. I really respect the other 3. I think that they're superb professionals with this thing, and underpinning that is I love them. They're my best friends. So why would I want to lose that or throw that away? And there's so much codependence in our business. So I can't say that, oh, I'm fantastic. My company's, my portion of the business is doing so well. It's doing well because of the others. Team. Because of the others. Team is different, but just because of the whole Apollo pulling together. And I think that's important, that we're codependent.
Absolutely. Now, like I said, a side of Shobana Kamineni that not too many people are aware of. You play the drums and you sing. Talk to us about your passion for music. Okay. I don't know if that's a passion, because if people ask me what's the music I like, it's the music that I had to put for my kids in the car, which is Bollywood. With this, my own music is what I grew up with as a girl. I love Tina Turner and some of the bands, the girl bands. I like Megan Trainor now, kind of cool. Drums, I always wanted to do that, and then I heard this thing, after I hit 50, that said you have to keep retraining your brain. So I said, why don't I do something nice? And I was just searching online once, and I just pressed, I want to buy this drum set. Fantastic, and that's how you started. I love it. Yeah? So it's been work in progress, but do you think you're much better than when you started out? Of course, I can play a song. I can play 4 songs. So we were talking about your passion for music, but what other interests do you really have? An adventure junkie, technology junkie is something that Upasna shared with me before. First and foremost, I think that what I share with my husband is a love of sport. I've been playing, state level, university level, country level, whether it was hockey, cricket, athletics, squash, all these, and he was India level archer, and he's in the association. So we both love sports. So that could have been an alternate profession. Yeah, well, that takes huge dedication. Yeah, absolutely. So that's one thing I tick off. All the huge sporting events around the world, whether it's Olympics, F1, the tennis games, World Cup football finals. I've seen it all. I love them. With this adventure, I think that the biggest thrill of is that adrenaline. So whether it's in business, it's also there even when so if you take the fastest, toughest amusement park ride, or going through the rapids, that rush, the Zambezi, all these are just an amazing rush. I love it. Well, on that note, it's time to slip into a quick breather right here on The Weekender in conversation with Shobana Kamineni. Stay back and stay tuned, because on the other side, we're going to talk business with one of the top business women in the country.
CNBC-TV18 Weekender.